Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2 The Shadow and the Blade, where our enemies have made some fatal mistakes. Well, our enemies have made some mistakes. We're going to try very, very hard to make these mistakes fatal. We'll see how that works out in practice. So, we're going to make an awful lot of money this turn, because we are short a couple of armies from our theoretical army cap. Which hopefully will mean that we can actually get through a lot of the infrastructure stuff we need to deal with so that we can start recruiting an army to replace Ikiclaw's army and then another army after that, which I think we may very well need. Let's just go ahead and go down the list here. So Vomik and Stunkrich are headed to Kasabar. Let's see, what is this? Antok and Bagar, neither of those have walls. And then over here... it looks like, honestly, he's pretty undefended in a bunch of places. El Aliad hasn't burned down the Undercity yet. I don't exactly know how that mechanic works. It said they have to pay money to get rid of it, and maybe they're just too strapped to do so? We can hope. Also, before I forget, we should just go ahead and hit the Doom Rocket button. Ooh, we got the extra. That's nice. Alright, yeah, so... you guys just continue this way. We can stay out of... actually, who has more movement range? Because I would kind of like to do an ambush thing here. We know that Tic-Tac-Toe is willing to come out of the city to fight people. So I'm hoping we can set up a trap. Vomik comes out. I don't know that we're close enough for him to see us. I hope we are. Stunkrich just moves to right here. And then, would it be possible? No, Murta cannot remove the enemy unit. That's a shame. It's probably not going to succeed at assaulting there. I guess... give me a little bit more information about what's going on over here. Is there an army in this settlement? Yes.
I can't.
Quite a large and powerful one, in fact. Well, that's not ideal. So we already did some stuff with these guys, right? We took over Gorgazon again. Infectique is still exactly where he needs to be. Queek is healing. Snitch is where he needs to be. Shife. Shife still needs to get places. So, what is the fastest? Okay, this beach. Actually, sorry, hold on. Can you go into normal movement mode and just hit this? Let's take Army will perform better on campaign, because I think... maybe I'm wrong. I think there's a version of that event that gives you extra movement speed, which would be handy. Because we are already being raided somewhere else, right? Okay, Shife is in position to do a thing next turn, and even with his slightly depleted army, should have no problem getting it done. Toxodon. So Mogan the Devoted does not look especially powerful here. But if we went after him and took him down, we would have to immediately fight Sir John, who is equally devoted. Sir John the also devoted. So we have to decide, is Toxodon just falling back to try to play defense at Agril Migdal, or... Arat can't quite reach any of these enemies, unfortunately. Get rid of that guy, probably. Okay, that helps. We could have Toxodon fall back to the city, maybe, if I go into march mode. Oh, he would not make it to the reinforcement zone. It does complicate things slightly. With his force, honestly, Toxodon's army should be pretty good against Mogan's army. They have a lot of cavalry, but he has a lot of guns and a warp lightning cannon. The question is, could he beat both of these guys, one after the other? And with this guy having 4 units of flying cavalry, or 5 units of flying cavalry, or 6 units of flying cavalry, all of those units fly, which can be a little bit tricky to take down quickly enough. I'm not super confident. I wish we had one more army in this area that was just like a little bit closer. Alright, what's your movement range look like? I'm going to have Toxodon fall back to here. I'm reasonably sure that he cannot be attacked by Mogan. I think he's outside of Mogan's normal movement range. And if they push Agromigdal, then he can swoop in behind them. Make that feel like a real bad decision. Staden is going to just live over here somewhere. I guess it doesn't really matter what we do with you. You have all the skill points you will ever actually need. Alright, Myrtle, we already moved. Okay, we've reclaimed this. We're going to put it in... We don't need growth mode. It's already growth capped. Honestly, yeah. Push Skaven Corruption, both so that we can have more menace charges here, and also so that we can spread menace charges into the surrounding areas. And then we just have 46,000 gold left. So let's try to use that as effectively as possible. Looks like we still need a better bell here. Obviously, we want to upgrade that. We may as well upgrade this one more time, too. That's a huge percentage of our total cash. Silver Road caps out. Man, the main settlement building here is not very good. It's kind of wild that Karaz-a-Karak doesn't have a special building. It really should, I would think. And again, I think we're building a bell here just because it's the most valuable building that we have left. The one with the highest output. And then what are these purple buildings? They cap out at 100, 100, and 100. So that is a little bit better than the reds. Yep, okay, I guess we make some purples. Okay, we did not get through as many settlements worth of upgrades as I was hoping. And there's still so many things to do in so many places. We have too much territory. Way too much total territory. Balea's Sorrow has an open slot. We can start throwing an upgrade together there. And I think that's probably it, right? Yeah, we are way out of money at this point. So it would be cool if somebody could swoop down and get that Skull Reef. A lot's going to come down to what the Bretonnians do with these two armies, because if they fall back to play defense, then we'll have some extended fighting. If they push, then we can probably deal with them with one or two armies while we send the rest of these guys in to start claiming stuff. Falling back to a defensive position like in Khemri, I think is probably the best move they could take in terms of keeping me at bay. Obviously, we don't know exactly what's going through the AI's mind, because first of all, who could possibly guess, and secondly, they may have concerns that we don't see here. They may be like in a financial crunch, which would motivate them to try to take more territory, or who knows. They might just be crazy computers. It is difficult sometimes to link the actions of the AI to any kind of reasonable thought process. No? Okay. You wanted to fight a different Dark Elf agent. I assumed he was going to just try to kill the one that he started on top of, but apparently that one was not threatening enough. Okay, Assault Garrison we don't care about. Honestly, we don't really care about any of the actions that these Dwarf agents are taking, except for assault units on armies that are in territory where they're not replenishing, or Block Army. Block Army is a huge problem. Okay, another full Bretonnian army showed up there. That's Luen, probably now healed up from the plague. I think that northern Corona army might be in attack range for us. You gotta hope they are. Alright, Black Buckthorn, we should probably finish off at some point, because he's just like a small amount of gold sitting there, free in the ocean. Vashnar's doing God only knows what. Basically, all Vashnar ever does is sail armies into positions where they get immediately killed. One of your Warlock engineers says, oh yes, Warpstone Dust. Well, you'd have him inhale it and become way better at fighting. That seems like a winner. Yeah. Where even is Kofor? We just had our Undercity to expand to a place that I'm not sure where it is. Is that in... Where was that notification? Oh no, it's right here. I'm looking right at it. Oh, Kofor's over there. Okay, well, that's fun. So... Kofor could probably use a... Don't necessarily need this to expand anymore. I guess let's just put up some basic money-making. There's still plenty of places where we can put up basic money-making buildings. Plenty of undercities. We really don't need vision around Kofor either. We don't want to commit super hard on all of our gold here, though, because we do want to start recruiting a new army at Galbaraz. So it doesn't really matter who we pick up for this purpose, because they're a placeholder. Oh right, Bilefitch is still in the Lord Pool too. We should definitely get Bilefitch back out there. Man, maybe we just recruit a new army for Bilefitch and then start recruiting the new army for Ikit right after. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so your red line stuff is Night Runners and Gutter Runners, and Plague stuff and Doom Wheels. And flares and stuff. Okay. Well, you don't have to twist my arm to get me to hire a couple of Doom Flayers. Actually, let's take on a Doom Wheel and a couple units of Doom Flayers. Maybe 2 Doom Wheels. This is going to be our cavalry army. And then we should probably recruit some stand and fight infantry. Stand and fight infantry might be halberds. Just trying to think, like, how much are we going to be fighting dwarves and how much are we going to be fighting horses? Also, at some point here, we're going to be fighting elves. Which troop is good against? Which troop is better against elves? Elves do have their own cavalry units, and high elf cavalry is pretty good. But they're probably going to go heavier on archers, and the shield may well come in handy. I'm gonna do this, and then we may as well. Already, we can queue up some Eshin triads, just in case I've bet wrong on the horses here. And then what else do we want to bring in through the global pool? A lot of stuff is prohibitively long recruitment times through the global pool. We could bring, you know what, I'm going to hire on a couple units of poison gutter runners. Do we not have... Okay, we do have access to Night Runners. They are much worse. Yeah, let's bring on like 2 units of Poison Gutter Runners just to distribute the poison debuff around our enemies, because the poison debuff is quite powerful. Alright, and then we will certainly make less money now. Alright, we gotta make some decisions. First of all, Toxidin, can you reach that guy? No, just barely you cannot. It's a little frustrating because the AI is clearly moving around with perfect knowledge of what our movement ranges are, which we cannot do to them because you can only see the opponent's movement range if they're in a movement stance. Or if they're in a stance that uses normal movement range. Like, we would not have been able to tell what an enemy's normal movement range was while they were in underway stance, for example. Alright, let's hope she just rides straight to Aggro Migdal. That would be best for us. Gorgazan is going to need real defenses. And then does Remamute go that way? I think we probably want to go pretty hard on pushing forward with these guys. So Queek's army will be pretty much back at full health next turn. Maybe what we do is Snikch and Hadar push forward now. Remamute just moves to the city. And then pairs up with Queek. So Zandri has a 12-unit garrison plus Luan's army, which has a ton of Blessed Trebuchets. That's interesting. So, these guys are not going to contribute a lot to the ground battle part of a city siege, because too many of their units are not able to participate in the walls. But they have a couple of flying units, and they have a lot of answers to massed up infantry. This could be a very difficult battle. Then again, I have a Doom Rocket. Can we reach? Yes, we can. I think it behooves us to take Zandri. So let's have Snikch be the approach. Actually, do we want to have Hadar be the approach because his units are worse? Just assume that a lot of them are going to get mulched. Maybe, actually. A lot of this battle is just going to be about taking control of the walls and then raining death down on the opponents. I am going to have him lead, I think. Ooh, Edward Alvan is in reinforcement range. So he adds another unit of trebuchets and some archers who will actually matter a little bit. I still think we can do this, to be perfectly honest with you. And we need a big momentum shifting win here. Alright, march mode yourself to Gorgazan. The game does not feel we can win. Hold on. Let's see if we can get a fight somewhere to give us a little bit of food to work with for this. Because I would like to have some Menace Below charges. Yeah, you guys are going to do a similar fight, but the one that's going to be considerably easier. So, I think I'm going to have Stunkritch be the approach on this one. Don't expect these armies to get anywhere near as brutalized. Oh, go ahead and... Hey, buddy. Go ahead and do the thing. There we go. Once we've moved Vomit in here, it might even let us do this without having to manual the very simple siege battle. Based on what we're seeing there from the balance of power bar. The auto-resolver bar, rather. Yeah, I think we can just... Okay, so we lost a unit of Death Runners, which honestly is probably... On the whole, this is too much. This is too many deaths, but having only lost a single unit, the rest of that stuff will heal off. This is actually a pretty good outcome. Alright, so that got us 13 food. You are going to just recruit some... Yeah, just recruit a unit of Skaven Slave Spears to stand in for the moment. Our Putrid Rice Bog going. That's going to make life very difficult for some of our opponents. It would be really easy in theory to take the rest of the settlements in this province, but obviously we have other problems we have to deal with first. Alright, so now that we have that food, Infectique is where he needs to be. I'm just going to run through everybody real quick. Scheif needs proper orders. Is there recruitment stuff in this province? There is not. May as well put a proper defensive structure up here. I mean, it's better than having the slots empty, right? And then, what else do we want to build in Marienburg? Oh, Marienburg doesn't have an arcane generator. Well, that's very silly. Obviously, we want one of those here. Money-making structures. Okay. Let's go back down to this fight. Okay. So... they're going to have so many units of trebuchets. I will absolutely spend a Doom Rocket here. I have no problem doing that. I think that we're going to suffer some heavy losses. That said, I also think that the other Bretonnian armies are not in reinforcement position here. Like, if we win this, I think our armies will have time to replenish. Ooh, it looks like they might have big side dead zones. It kind of looks like from the exact position, or the exact condition of these walls is obscured a little bit by the outline, but it looks like there might not be any towers over here. So we could roll a lot of our units up into those angles and then approach the wall that way. That is in fact the case. Okay. So reinforcement armies coming in on this side, which means these guys want to set up over here. We have no ability at all to do like a double gate push or anything like that. We have no way to draw them off to one entrance and then hit the other entrance. But I think that's fine in this case. Remember, of course, they do have a huge amount of siege weaponry, and we don't actually want to have any units grouped up like this, but we're going to spread these guys out real fast once the battle starts. I just want to make sure that we're not Just want to make sure that we're not in tower range for any longer than we absolutely have to be. Speaking of, I'm guessing it comes out like this. I think the catapults could go to here, maybe? That might even be further than they have to go. And then the doom wheels and the gun teams should also just kind of whatever. Poisoned wind mortars. How much armor do these guys have? Okay, quite a bit. So we won't take a lot of armor from the Bretonnian peasant archer arrow teams. We don't need to be too cautious on that front. You should... Sorry. Oh, you're coming in from that army. No, oh no, this is... I just didn't set these units up. Oops. Well, you guys are going to need to get across here. You can provide a distraction. They're gonna take some tower fire. Okay, hold on. I want to refine my catapult positioning. In fact, I want to stop my catapults from moving any further. They're fine, it turns out. And that means you are running right to here to help them with your ballistics calibration skills. You guys are headed for that wall.
Very good, Master. As Master desires. Poison wind mortar. Now move.
Yeah, I mean, they are drawing off the fire that would otherwise be going to the rest of this army, so I guess that's good. El Pit Abomination needs to get over there immediately. Just gonna try to make sure all of these units get their orders as quickly as possible. Alright, catapult's doing the catapult thing. So this city setup is super deep. And they've chosen to put the trebuchet teams in a position where I don't know that they're actually going to be able to affect the battle very much. Unfortunately, we cannot click to select an enemy unit and keep it selected. So it's going to be a little hard to tell exactly where the end of that trebuchet team's line is. Okay, so we can actually get over here close to the wall enough that they can't attack us. We're definitely going to want to have normal storm vermin scaling the walls immediately. These guys can just line up way back here away from the trebuchets. And I think, given the way they've set up, we don't want to try to drop any reinforcements on their weapon teams or anything. Not right away. If I were to Doom Rocket, I wouldn't be able to hit more than one of the teams for all of its health, so... I guess in a lot of places, yeah, it doesn't make much sense for us to do anything but wait, really. Okay. I do wish that we had spells. This whole group of forces having no spellcasting ability is a real shame. Obviously, we're going to get Snikch up here on this wall ASAP. He could be doing a lot of killing here. I guess we should give some of these units a little bit more to go on. You guys get to there and do that. You guys get to here and do this. Halberds, we don't really need to send over just yet, but I guess this army only has 2 units of non-halberd stormies, so... Okay. Your poisoned wind mortars should set up right about here. Well, maybe even further back. So let us fire over the wall at the horses. And you can see they're really grouping their units up in a way that is not conducive to surviving our sieging strategy. We're going to get a lot of damage on them pretty early on here. And once we've taken the walls and denied them their ability to archer us to death, I think we're gonna be able to just rain the rest of our siege ammo on them without them really being able to do anything about it. Then we're gonna have a second phase of the battle where we have to push inside and actually fight guys down on the ground. That part's gonna go worse. They turned the trebuchet. They also moved some of the trebuchets up a little bit. It's still not... Yeah, we still wouldn't really be able to get multiple teams. Oh, over here we could. Alright, I'm going to do this. I think that's a worthy spend of a Doom Rocket. I'm hoping that this is gonna... It looks like it's gonna wipe out 2 of the Treb teams and maybe do about half damage to one of the others. It didn't fall where we targeted it, so I guess those maybe have a little bit of inaccuracy on them. That's an okay outcome. It's a lot worse than what we were hoping for. I don't know that I would have chosen to drop the Doom Rocket like that.
Rattling gun.
We can maybe have the gunners spread out a little bit more. Council Guard just taking serious beats here.
Dinosaur blood.
Alright, it looks like they just surrendered the wall almost immediately on this side. Hold on a second. Apparently I told some units to do a thing that doesn't make any damn sense. You guys should definitely not be in the tower here. And they've sent a paladin to fight Deathmaster Snitch. This should be a pretty easy win for us, I think. Cannot target if on a wall, never mind. What he can do is just engage the Blade Storm. Nope. Can't do it on a wall. Okay, well what he can do is just stand here and fight this guy. I'm sure he's doing fine. Okay, he's getting grouped up on just a little bit, but also we're throwing a lot of garbage up here at the enemy hero. It's a shame he can't do his whirlwind up here, because this would actually be a really good place for it. That guy's totally gonna get away. I'm not too afraid of letting Snitch run in here and fight, though. I think he's gonna get a lot of valuable stuff done. And as he draws enemies forward to melee combat with him, they're gonna get torn up by all of the globes and whatnot. You know what? I'm gonna take his guard mode off. He should be pursuing this dude across the wall. On the whole, though, this is going pretty alright. Hopefully we'll have control of this tower soon and we can expand our stance a little bit. Alright, seems like we have a lot of friendly fire going on this side. Let's maybe tell these guys to chill out for a second here. Stop shooting. Kind of seems like we're only shooting at our own guys. I guess I turned off fire at will. We can still manually target them, and they do still have guard mode on. What is your range of fire? If we move them forward a little bit, they can rain on those horses. That should be... Where are they at? Okay. Oh, yeah, that should be no problem at all. Alright, we've done some good damage here. Catapults. I'm going to move our catapults in a little bit so that they can fire at that group of enemies there in the... probably a little further forward than that. Can fire at that group of enemies standing in the opposite corner. We are going to have to breach the gates at some point here to let our gunners and our hero through. But for the moment, I'm primarily concerned with winning the battle on the walls against anything that they are willing to send up onto the walls against us. Again, do wish we had spells. Also, no, we are not... We should not have lost control of this tower. I know they moved guys up into the box, but it's ours. They should have to chase us out before they can just take it back. Alright, we have warriors fleeing, probably on account of friendly fire on this side. We can probably tell the troops on this side to chill out on that. Well, some of the storm vermin ran down onto the ground. Those guys are dead. Snitch. Looks like that paladin is just gone. I don't see a heavily wounded... Oh no, is that him? Nope, that's just a unit of men-at-arms. So we might have killed that paladin. In any case, we broke a bunch of their units on this side. Cost is relatively low, all things considered. They just have a horse lord and a bunch of other horses. Catapults. Why are we not firing? Looks to me like our angle is good. Yeah. That could have been happening this whole time. I shouldn't have to go over there and tell them to do that. Also, calibrate the ballistics. So they still have a huge number of cavalry units, and I don't want to, like, at the risk of making this a little bit tedious, I do think we want to try to damage out as many of those cav units as we can before we go in any deeper. So let's see, we have a paladin, there's some pretty wounded cavalry here. Can I, from these guys... It's a little frustrating that they don't have the same artillery, the same fire indicators as artillery. Because, like, I should get arrows here telling me whether or not they can actually target this. No, don't move there. Attack there. Yeah, it looks like the angle's good. Let's just see if we can run these cavalry units off entirely, right? Yeah, the mortars are super effective against massed cavalry like this. We're not going to be able to do much damage to that hero, probably, but I bet we can break this unit. These guys are probably close enough to the wall that we don't actually have an angle on them. I don't know why this cavalry unit is still staying in. Seems like a really bad plan on their part. Here, start working on those guys. You can't actually hit these guys. These guys would also be tricky because of the walls. Some of their units are positioned cleverly. Okay, we can make that happen. You're going to have to roll forward a little bit to do it, but... Oh, hey, the mortar teams have a really high firing angle and considerable range. Yeah, they can actually shoot over the wall. You see the catapults have a much more horizontal shot. Mortars are pretty good. Alright, so we can actually probably do a lot of damage to several of these units of cavalry before we start putting halberds down on the inside of the wall. Where is Snikch right now? He's gone. Huh. That's interesting. Did he chase someone down off the wall? Because they're... Even when your units aren't in guard mode, they're not supposed to do that. I'm assuming the only way he could possibly have lost a battle is if he chased someone down off the wall. And I just wasn't paying enough attention. Absolutely should not have happened. Alright, let's start getting more spears up on the wall. I think it's about time we move in. Their cavalry units are looking pretty shredded, so they shouldn't be able to organize a charge that's actually effective against the halberd storm vermin. Wonder if we can get these mortar units over on this side to fire at these targets. I was kind of expecting them to have to move forward, because we did indicate targets that are out of their range. Maybe they're just gonna try? Oh, or maybe their range is a little bit greater than it appeared. Okay, so over here on this side, we have a single unit of halberds. And it's pretty torn up because of trebuchets. Well, get in there. It's not really a lot else for us to do. On this side, we can put a couple more units of halberds up on the wall, which we are currently working on. And I think it's time to kick the gates in now. So let's get gun teams in front of the gate. We have total control of the walls right now. You guys get in here and smash that gate open. And then I guess any melee who aren't planning on going over the wall should also be over here. I don't know exactly what I want you to do, but just like get in the area. Be ready. Oh, the abomination. The abomination should be on door duty. Absolutely. Warp fire throwers also over here, but kind of off to the side because I don't want them to fire until it's time. In fact, we're just going to turn off fire at will on those guys. Too much friendly fire. And you know, we can put Globadiers up on the wall. This is a big advantage of Globadiers over some of the other ranged unit types that we're using. So Globadiers can actually go up on a wall. So the second we start moving guys in, all of a sudden they're taking control of towers. Let's have you guys rush over here and fight these dudes. Please, please, please stay on the wall during this period. I really thought they were going to fight this a little bit differently. Like, we're ending up not using our Menace Below charges because putting them down near enemy cavalry is just like absolute suicide. Don't let these nerds have control of this tower.
Yes, fight, kill!
Okay. Turn it yellow. That one's white again. This gate should go down pretty quickly. We got a lot of people hacking at it. You guys could be firing there, probably. You... I guess here? Just, like, try to... Even the very, very badly damaged units of cavalry should get finished off. You could probably hit that angle, right? Nice high fire. Yeah. %. Alright, as soon as that breaks, we have a variety of orders to issue. Okay. So, they have a Grail Reliquary on the ground. Remember, this is not a fighting unit. The guy is dead and the horse is fake. They have a couple units of Foot Squires through. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Now that that's open, simultaneously, we're going to send a bunch of halberds down off of the walls. Super annoyed about Snitch getting himself wounded. Well, not, essentially, just not following orders. Not following the way the game is set up. I'm actually going to have both these units come down off the wall here. There's not a lot of horses left. We can get some normal storm vermin down. I'm going to leave these guys up on the wall because somebody's going to kill these Foot Squires to prevent them from reclaiming the towers. And then we're going to have the 2 units of Death Runners right here come through. And once these Death Runners are through, we're going to send in all the guns. And also all the cavalry units that are currently... All the cavalry and monster units that are currently doing the thing. Get in there and murder that guy. Get through the gate, start doing damage. This is also probably a pretty good time to do something like this. This unit's going to die without getting much accomplished, but it is going to slow down their response a little bit. What we're really looking for right now is just getting guys inside and established. Alright, you lot, get down. Okay, so they did charge, pretty much to be expected. We're working hard on clearing this gate. So unfortunately, we don't have a lot of useful abilities here. We can buff up some damage, but sadly all of our cool rally type abilities plus 20-something melee defense for all of your units in the area, stuff like that. Not so much on this army. Okay, we did in fact slow the approach of the cavalry, but some cavalry are still getting in. Let's just press these guys together and not let them escape. We'll get some triads back here if we can get them to disengage. We just need to clear this cluster right here. Actually, it looks like they only maybe have... Yeah, they only actually have 3 bodies in front of the gate. So this is probably a pretty good time for the gunners to get inside. And I don't have any particularly strong plan for where you guys will go. Just get inside. Because obviously the thing we have to do is we have to set up... I guess, actually, I want to tell you to do something more like this. We have to get inside and start firing down that hall. We need to bait the Pegasus Knights into moving forward. We are simultaneously going to send forth Skaven slaves. You lot need to get moving. And it shouldn't take too much longer to break down all of these guys. Some Globadiers over there. I think I'm going to leave a lot of the siege stuff outside. It doesn't necessarily help to bring these guys in. They have like a single shot each remaining. I will... Let's try to get the catapult teams a little bit closer. I don't know that we can actually reach that distance. We may not be able to shoot at these dudes at all. Alright, looks like we can have some of our spears peel off. They have a single lord here. Single lord or hero. We will defeat him easily enough. It's gonna take forever because they have a lot of melee defense, but we'll get him. Alright, you guys have done your job and you need to get forward. I think if they had been using their trebuchets in a useful way the entire battle, think how much damage we would have taken. Alright. So I'm going to commit these guys to the battle now in the hopes of drawing the enemy... There we go. Drawing the enemy down to the ground. And then we are going to try to start firing on them now. We don't have a caster who has the ability to hold them in place with magic. So we have to take a slightly different approach here. We want to get a lot of fire on them before they actually get any damage done. Wow, did the approach of these units completely break their morale? I don't know what these guys are shooting at. There's nothing. That's a tent. Did you guys get confused? Or we're gonna have to go back to the training picture books again. This is a tent. This is a horse. As the problem is, you know, there's an ambiguous picture on that page. The picture has both tents and horses in it, so you're like, well, which one's which? Waiting to see if Lewin's going to do anything. It kind of seems like he doesn't have a lot of interest in fighting us. Guys, get ready. We're going to break off a lot of their units, and then in theory, Lewin's probably going to come after us. Or maybe not. Is he the only unit left on the table? Yes, he is. Everybody else broke and ran. Lewin Leoncoeur is like, over my dead body. Well... Alright, dude. You said it. I'm kind of curious. If we spread out like this, I'm curious who can shoot him. Because these guys over here might be able to just fire. And obviously we're gonna have some of our units charge in here as well. And I want to try to draw him into the gunners first. Alright. The whole lot of you... Do whatever you gotta do to make him die. These units should approach the city center. And my lord should approach the city center. And all of the cavalry and stuff should approach the city center. A lot of these guys are still at the gate. Maybe Lewin Leoncoeur is going to do nothing at all. He's just going to let us shoot at him. I guess he can allow it. He doesn't seem to take any damage from those initial volleys. Obviously, if he gets down on the ground, we have a lot of bodies ready to make a thing of that. He's got to come down, right? He can't just let me take the city center. Okay, two things. One, no, do not participate. Two, I should have turned off guard mode on the gunners. Let's make sure that actually happens. Guard mode off for real. Shoot him. And also, all of you guys, get him. Do not include the flamethrowers. That would probably be a bad idea. And you know what? I'm going to throw some of these guys in here too. We're going to buff up. We're going to heal with the Scalm. We're going to not blow him up. This is probably not going to matter. Okay. Here comes the Jezzael fire. He is very swamped. He is actually beating our Lord in combat, which is why I wanted to bring everybody in, because I was afraid that was going to happen. Hadar is not exactly a legendary Lord, you know? He's probably spec'd for melee combat as well. But the good news is, Skaven have never ever fought fair in the history of time, and we're not about to start now. Gun teams seem to be running into melee. Not what I wanted. What I wanted you guys to do was shoot at him. Yep, this gun team also moving into melee. Alright, I'd love to see some gunfire. Maybe they're moving into melee because they feel they don't have a shot, but that shouldn't be the case, because he's huge. So I feel like Hadar has decided he could take a little break here. And at some point this guy's going to disengage. Like, he'll try to back up into the air, probably. And at that point, the guns should come out, I think. I'm not sure why only the Jezzaels are firing now. Is it our Lord he's in the way? No, like, look at this. Their line of sight to this guy is absolutely open. Look at the size of his mount. Shoot him with guns. Oh, yeah, see, they absolutely could shoot him. They just weren't shooting him. Nope, maybe not. I thought they were setting up for it. There we go. So this is a big, important army for them, as well as a settlement of some importance. Definitely less important. How do we have so many gunners and nobody's willing to shoot this asshole? Doomwheel. Doomwheel him. Yeah, okay, there we go. It's true, the enemy stronghold will soon be ours. We do have total control of the plaza. It's weird how, like, only a couple of people from the gunner unit are firing. They all have the same shot, but it's just the guys on this flank. You guys withdraw. Kill him with your weapons. There we go. Pulling down. That was ridiculous. How many minutes of that battle were just me fighting Luen Leonker? And he only got 72 kills out of it. He should be embarrassed. Alright, well that's a huge force that we defeated there. That's very, very big. I think we probably got Deathmaster Snikch wounded, it looks like. I didn't even see what happened. I was very focused on the other side of the battle at the time. But we can just pull in a random loser lord to run the army until Snikch is better, and then replace him. Also, very dumb that he can't do his whirlwind on the wall. It's not like there's a risk of him falling off or anything. The whole thing about that whirlwind is that it keeps him stationary while he does it. I don't know. It's sometimes hard to understand the logic of ability targeting. Is Snikch wounded? Yes. Real dumb. So we'll bring in... We'd like it to be a high level guy. You know, the army should be as effective as possible while Snikch is gone, even if it is going to spend most of the time sitting still. Should probably just be a random warlord of some kind. Sure, Vectique of Mordheim. No, your loyalty is very low. I want a warlord so that the army functions pretty much the same. Okay. Sieprich. Charge bonus plus 10. You know, honestly, that's not so bad for Hadar since he's on a charging mount. Obviously, this recruitment cost thing does nothing for us. Also, for some reason, that battle caused the camera to rotate and not rotate back afterward, which is a thing that should never ever happen. Okay, so this is new guy, temporary guy. He's gonna take, I don't know, replenishment rate and just this is the Storm Vermin one. Some real basic garbage here. This is not a dude we'll be keeping around. Okay.
Guiders wanted one.
Also, I didn't cast a lot of spells there. We did have a warlock. I was lamenting our lack of spell casting, but not so much that I'm gonna like cast spells. We didn't really need them, to be fair. We were in a very good position. Ah, yes, this does affect weapon teams. So did the army take any other losses?
Ah, mine.
We lost 1 unit from this army. To be perfectly honest, this army should probably have a wizard. I should probably recruit a proper sorcerer. I'm a big fan of the Plague Priest. Really? No characters currently available. Well, I guess in that settlement, right? Because we don't have a plague house there. We do have one here. Oh, also, we have this, which should probably get capped out. And I guess this too. Why not? We may as well actually finish one settlement. Here we can recruit a plague sorcerer. Okay, sure. Festit the Knowledgeable. Snitch needs magic backup. Clearly. Alright, Obside is getting close to the actual thing. Someday he'll be part of the battle. So is there anybody else who needs to move anywhere? Remamute may as well... I want him to stay in range of the settlement, but he may as well be as far forward as possible. Hadar's good. Stunkrich is good. Weak is set. He's got one more turn of that going. Shife is ready to kill some stuff. Next turn, Biofitch is recruiting. Toxidin is in ambush mode. Down here, which makes... yeah, it makes some amount of sense. I think we may see Rapunzel Leoness just turn around. She may decide that home is where she needs to be. Alright, definitely Plague Rash. Yeah, we'll grab one of each of these. We will max out Plague. Then we still have so many agents to give orders to. Staden is honestly pretty much where I want him. He'll provide vision in this area for right now, so I'm gonna... well, I guess our settlements are providing vision. Yeah, you're good. Cheerflesh. Sail down here. Murta. Murta just needs to keep these guys busy. Take out the slightly higher level hero. It would be real good for us if that army didn't move in on me until I was ready to fight them. Erat should definitely harass these units, although he is a little exhausted. He gets it done, though, occasionally. Yeah, Staden is where he needs to be. Okay. The vaults at Karak Izor. We can turn taxation back on in this area. And then, of course, build ourselves some rubbish pits. You could build lumber? That might be better. We're not trading with that many players anymore because we've absorbed a fair number of our trading partners at this point. But trading's still valuable. And then, do we have an open slot anywhere? Oh, well, this is almost as good. And one of our assassins can finish this. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good about our position at the moment. I'm a little bummed out about the Doom Rocket that we spent there and accomplished very little with, but aside from that, I think that was very successful. So we know that there are at least 2 Huron armies east of the settlement that we just destroyed. There might also be a partial or even a full army at Khemri, which we need to get an agent in the area of to observe. But I think we're going to find that we've broken Kuron's coordination for a moment here, hitting them right in the middle of their reinforcement area. Marathi actually doing a very valuable thing for us. Not that we couldn't have handled that army, but again, like breaking their coordination, splitting their armies off from some of their settlements, gives us a lot of angles of attack that they don't really have a lot of ways to defend against. And we can go straight into their economy and burn it down while their armies are away, basically. Wow, Aranes Assault Spite is rank 7. I guess there really are not a lot of players left. Because what, 1 is Lothern, 2 is us, 3 and 4 are probably... Well, one of them is probably the Lizardmen faction over on the western continent, the big one, Hexawatl. By the way, I would not be shocked to see, as Tlaqua falls, as we continue to make headway against them, I would not be shocked to see them give all their units over to Hexawatl. We have dwarves sailing to the northwest, really? They might just be headed for, Tilia? Or, Estalia, rather. I guess? Bretonian push to Numas, I think, is not going to help them very much. I think that's a pretty bad play for them. Like, they have Numas, but what now? Are they just going to camp armies there? Because they can't really move those guys anywhere without losing it. And if they do just camp armies there, then we can collapse 4 stacks of dudes on them pretty easily. And listen, I'm not mad about it. I'm happy to see our opponents make a foolish move here. We could use a couple more of those, frankly. Okay, a banner of the Under Empire. No, that's okay. So we had a hero get wounded. The hero very much not get wounded. This was... Okay, this was out of one of the armies. That's annoying. Queek needs a caster. Well... I mean, I think he's going without for the moment.
Warlock, master of Scryer.
Okay, so we have a little bit more recruitment to do here. I definitely want to get some catapults going. I'm going to do this. This army is going to be a little light on melee. We should probably just start recruiting Storm Vermin from the pool right now. Unless, is there a very significant difference in rank? No, we have 2 ranks from the global pool is fine. Let's just get 3 more units of... Sorry, 4 more units of those guys, right? I think this should be a functional-ish army. It doesn't have any guns. But it does have a lot more special weapons team type units than we usually do. Let's see, this would end up with 5 Storm Vermin plus 3 Triads. I'm going to do this and pull in 2 gun teams. So, gun teams hired in from this province come in at rank 6. It's pretty good. Whereas gun teams hired from the global pool will come in at rank 2. Yeah. It's worth the extra turn. Okay. So we have a lot of choices to make here. I guess let's start down here. We know approximately what these guys are going to do. So Vomik and Stunkrich want to push down to Orion's camp, I think. So I should definitely make sure we're upgrading Carrick Zorn. Make sure we're coming down here. You know what? Build defenses just in case. I don't feel like this area is stable at all. Okay. We should get rid of Orion's camp.
Address me as Cielo.
So if we did have a hero over here, we've lost him. Oh no, he's at the Springs of Eternal Life. I mean, do we want to hang out for a second until Kasabar is a little bit more developed? Because obviously I don't want to just cede it to Sudenburg immediately. Also, Quetar does not have proper defenses yet. That might be telling us what we need to do with Toxidin.
Master engineer.
I don't think these guys are going to be able to reach Quatar this turn. Is there anywhere over here where I could be not suffering attrition damage? No? Alright, well then we'll do this. Have him pursue in this direction. He can still double back to aggro Migdal if they decide to go north instead. And then maybe we ignore the elves and push this way so that we're in a better position to respond to that as well. I think that's probably the case. So let's move... It's probably okay for us to do a turn of normal movement northward. Ambush mode's not going to be particularly relevant here because nobody is likely to be able to see us anyway. And if somebody runs up against the garrison of Castlebar, we can just turn around and murder them next turn. Alright, so we'll try to squeeze those guys. Hopefully that'll work. Over here, Remamute and Queek should move to put pressure on Khemri, I think? Do we have a hero in this area? We do. You need to go and get me Vision of Khemri. Do they somehow have another army, which they definitely could not afford, at Khemri? They do not. Okay, well then. This is our moment. Probably going to want to underway this, because walking above the sand is for chumps.
Quick moves.
And like this kind of thing right here is where Marathi breaking that 3/4 of a stack that was coming in is going to be really helpful, because there's going to be nobody to reinforce or defend Khemri now. And Seeprich and Hadar, I think, just go straight to Alhaik. Alhaik should be a really easy capture. I can't tell. Okay, the edge of our movement range on land is right there.
Not in this world or the other.
Natalie Walden is currently recruiting, I'm sure. Okay, we can go to here. There's vegetation. It is safe to stand here. And actually, Hadar has so much more movement than Seepkrich that we can move in front of him and still go into ambush mode. Not that I expect this is going to be terribly relevant, because I don't think they have enough forces in the area that they would choose to attack us anyway. But that is maybe a thing they'll fall for. You gotta give your opponent the opportunity to make the mistake, you know? No, that's cool, guys. I got this under control. Alright, that will be the last of their retreating. Chop them up and then get on the move down south, because there are some heirs of Morcane that also need some attention. And how's stuff going up here? We are positive on public order. In some cases, very positive. Wrecker's Point should definitely have real defenses. That's on the coast. We can also upgrade the dock, which will make this upgrade a little bit stronger.
Assassin.
Alright, so what are you? Oh, you're still just running south. Festit is heading in the direction of that army way down there. Staden is good. By the time Cherryflesh actually catches up with us, we're going to be significantly further west where I thought we were going to be. I might want to run Murta back to here, just like watch for the Elven army coming up from the south. Try to keep an eye on both directions. And then Rel has newly respawned. Goes south, he's just going to get grabbed by one of the ghosts. So let's have him come over here and keep an eye on these dudes. Alright, then we don't want to move the one guy who hasn't moved yet, so we're good. I think we've probably broken Quran pretty badly. If we can get these two armies under control, we're gonna get a whole bunch of settlements. I don't know that we'll wipe them out necessarily before they manage to get their feet back under them, but they have lost the momentum here in a really, really big way. It's funny how basically a single error in judgment from the dwarves kind of cascaded into the dwarven stronghold at Gorgazan breaking, and then this thing happening to Corone. And I'm making fun of Marathi's army because it's a really bad army design, but actually, that army's certainly enough to take on any of the unwalled Tlaqua settlements in this desert. Tlaqua probably didn't build defenses around these settlements because they thought these settlements were safe. And they were safe for quite some time. But all of a sudden something else is happening. I don't know what the hell Araness Assault Spite is doing. Those dwarves might actually be a problem for her. Okay, assault units, not a big deal. We're in... Oh no, we're not in friendly territory. We crossed the border. Yeah, Iron Fist is gonna... Nope, he's gonna ignore her. Well, That's alright, we're ready to deal with that. We have an army near that mountain range, so we'll just dig under. And I'm definitely going to do that before we end the video here, because I will absolutely forget. If I stop the video with the plan of having that be the first thing we do next episode, I will absolutely space on it. Okay, Rapunzel's is turning around, leaving the other guy to try to defend the new settlement by himself. Which is a thing that obviously he is not going to be able to do. And in fact, we might only have to devote one army to this now. I guess it'll depend on what exactly his army is and what shape it's in. Bashnar is going to go and harass the High Elves. I think that's a fine plan. This is Remmute's army. I don't really want... There's no reason that I shouldn't be able to see Remmute's current loyalty level. I mean, I know it's low. But we really don't want him to take attrition this turn. You know what? He'll take it after the battle, so it'll be fine. Skaven army in Bel Aliad. Oh, they didn't actually burn it down. Okay, so we've got actually a pretty reasonable army from the Vermintide, which we could use to put pressure on all kinds of interesting places. He's only level 1, so we spend the 1 skill point in the only place... Oh, he's not only level 1. We were lied to. Well, let's grab some spells then. Death Frenzy's good. You know what? No. Give me... I didn't mean to undo everything. I just wanted to undo the last point. We should have Howling Warp Gale. Evasion... Crack's Call, Flensing Ruin... So actually, we can max both of these out. Take Arcane Conduit and still get Earthing. And do we want both of these? I want to get my Doom Wheel. Yeah, I guess we just take both of these. We just get real good at spellcasting real fast here. Okay, that's definitely interesting. And it's also going to make it way harder for the Bretonnians to recover here. Like I said, I think Infectique needs to get under the mountain range this turn. And then that is probably right there where we ought to stop for today. Otherwise, I'm going to get drawn into another 40 minutes of play here. That's going to be it for us for right now. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time on Monday to see how we press this, what is turning out to be a very massive advantage against Bretonnia. I said I don't know if we're going to be able to take them down before they get their feet under them. With the addition of that extra army, I'm thinking maybe we will, in fact, wipe them out completely in the next couple of turns. So that'll be fun. And we'll see you then.